Welcome back to Find Music. It's Monday. Time to find music, right? This is episode 536. That's right. We're just gonna shoot for 1,000 subscribers. That is, we're almost up to 300. We're
Oh,
inching to
wow.
300. So just keep on subscribing. And of course, you'll get to hear each of us share our finds. First off, Oasis. Fred Whitlock, our leadoff man. Go ahead, Fred.
Well, most of my reviews, few of my reviews are electronic music. I discovered Anthony Naples. I guess he was a dance producer and did dance music and then got into ambient material. It's been around a decade, and his last album that came out in 2023 was Orbs, ORBS. And yeah, it was about 2019 that he got into ambient music. And this album just is nice, slow motion, kind of dub groove to it, chill out vibe. Uh, it's glowing sounds just fold on you, and it's micro rhythms in the background. Everything I like about electronic music, kind of couple of songs come up with a little bit of that dance beat that he's known for. He takes you into the unknown with some of their cuts are a little bit darker. He has got great riffs that sweep over you, and he's deep into textures and rhythms. And one reviewer or critic said, it makes you feel things that you never thought you're feeling.
Ooh.
My next discovery, I think because I was listening to Naples, this came up later. This artist, Iguana with an E, not an I, Equana. I couldn't find out any information on it, but he's got a lot of albums out that are streaming, and I think they're on Bandcamp and other places you can look his name up and get a bunch of his albums. His last one he came out with is called World and Machine. It's all natural rhythms, electronic rhythms, and he's got a song called Between World and Machine, and the electronic drumming comes up kind of heavily with a kind of African beat. The sound just on most cuts just melt gently across the airwaves and sort of lucid dreaming sound. Uh, Red Lights is the cut that kicks off this album. It's very mystical, and it ends with a quiet number called Chinese Rain with a Chinese music influence in it. He brings out emotions very gently, very quietly, and it's a great atmosphere, creates a great atmosphere. And really, for electronic music, sometimes all of a sudden you're not listening to it, but this keeps your attention. I really enjoyed this. Then I found Moon Duo, Duo, Stars and Light. This is their seventh album. It's Eric Ripley Johnson and his wife, Sana Madaya. And it's psychedelic work with a touch of krautrock guitar in it. And they have seven albums out. They've been recording since 2011, I believe. And they have spacey notes through it that just swirls over synthesizers, and it's a glimmering sound to it. washes over you. And sometimes they just turn it up a little bit, just enough to get your attention, and it's mesmerizing, and produces you a cosmic sound that has a little bit of a beat to it, a lushness. And this group is from San Francisco, so you know they're into psychedelic sounds.
They also have an episode on KEXP.
They do. I saw it on my phone.
Oh,
Yeah, you got to
ah,
investigate that.
then a totally turn around. I discovered this group, the Excitements. They're a gutsy soul band that started out in Spain. I guess they're very popular in Europe. I saw their touring. They tour all over Europe. They're not well known in the States, but they got a great sound to it. Uh, Great R&B sound. And I really like their albums. Uh, they came out in 2011 with Sometimes Too Much Ain't Enough. Oh, the first one was The Excitements in 2011. Then the next one was 2013. And then in 2016, Breaking the Rules. And Hard Times is the one I've been listening to lately. That's their latest album, just came out this year. The group was founded in 29, and they have a great lead singer. She's terrific. Uh, the horn playing, if you like Stax Records, soul music from the 60s, or Tower of Power, their horns are just as powerful and create a great rhythm. It's impressive guitar lines melt in with the vocals. It's rootsy and the beats are infectious. Her vocals is great. And some of the cuts have a Sly Stone feel to some of it. So if you like that type of music, you're going to love the Excitements. Check them out. Then a friend of mine reminded me of the Soft Machine, and I started listening to all their albums over the last week or so. And the one that really comes to mind is a jazz fusion when they went deeper into jazz fusion, number 7. They numbered all their albums up to this album. 7, there's only one actual original member left with the group. That's Mike Altritch, and he's on keyboards and synthesizers. And Carl Jenkins, who joined the band a little later, he's still with the group, but he's got the most prominent role here. He really changes the group's sound, and he wrote almost all the music. And it's more electronic. If you're into Weather Report, you'll love this album. This is a very different album from their previous albums, and they really changed the pace up. It's an organic electronic synthesizers and spacey keyboards, just flows out. It's futuristic venture for them. They've been always an experimental jazz rock band, and but this one really takes them in a whole different direction. And some fans were divided between previous albums up to this point, and this album really threw them off. Others like it quite a bit, the direction they take. For one, I like all their albums, and I especially like this one. If you're into synthesizers, electronic, jazz beat, jazz rock, this is the album to go to. And then go back to all their others. Right after this album, they left CBS Records and went to Harvest, I believe. And Alan Holdsworth joined them on lead guitar, and that changed their whole sound. They're on an album called Bundles, which I won't get into today, but check the group out, The Soft Machine.
That you youngins out there, get off of my musical lawn.
Hey, you little.
No, hey, Soft Machine, man. We grew up with them. We have a sense of entitlement. Oh,
They always went through some changes. And
yes, yes, yes,
on this
yes, yes.
album and then the next album, most of their members joined the original guy. He's from the group Nucleus, most of the members.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
their
another
members.
great group.
Another great group. Yeah.
Love them. All right, thank you, Fred. We better keep on finding.